Scorn is an atmospheric first-person adventure horror game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. I would say that this game is akin to a creepy, first-person Myst with a chilling, meaty setting. You wander through different areas solving various puzzles throughout the labyrinths of a civilization that's left to rot. This is the first game to come from Serbian game studio Ebb Software. The game was first announced with a trailer in 2014 and further announced in 2017. So, how did this up-and-coming studio do with their first title, Scorn? Scorn was definitely developed with love and care. The delightfully dark and creepy environments are brought to life with stellar atmosphere and sounds. At times I found myself in awe just oogling the environments. There's no doubt that this game was truly a work of art. I was also in love with the ambient soundtrack that paired perfectly with ambient, fleshy, wet sounds that just made your skin crawl. The game shows you a very small cutscene to start the game, and from there, you're just left to figure it out. It really adds to the tonality of the game of feeling just helpless. The game does a great job of just making you feel so alone. I was happy that there was a variety of different enemies that you encounter, but I'll be touching on the combat as a whole in just a few minutes. The weapon design was just so on brand for this game. I remember seeing them in a trailer years ago and thinking how cool it was to see weapons made out of flesh and bone. Delightfully devilish. I also wanted to touch on the themes, and I'm going to do this tactfully as so not to spoil anything. There's a focus in this game to really replicate life experience. When we are born, we work through our own lives and are left to figure it out for ourselves, on our own. In all walks of life, we are attacked from outside sources, and we all self-sabotage, even if we don't know it. Scorn's themes by the end, you realize, mimic the cycle of life, and how the life we live are just one small blip on the existence in humanity's timeline. Okay. I think that's enough deep thinking for now, but when you view this game as a work of art, it truly is just that. While I love the enemy designs and the fact that you always had to be on the lookout, I absolutely hated the combat in this game. I understand that we aren't playing a first-person shooter, and this isn't like Doom. But I feel that the combat, especially early on, wasn't really balanced. The little jackhammer tool you start with had very inconsistent range, and I often found myself getting frustrated because I couldn't run away from enemies who had just ranged attacks with their acid, and I was stuck between them and the wall. The guns felt just okay, but I felt it only served a filler purpose against some of the larger enemies. Not to mention there was a boss section that really frustrated me because there was no hints as to what you could really do. My recommendation to you if you play this is to be patient when you get to it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Something else they definitely could have done a little bit better is to lead the character a bit by making some items just a little bit easier to detect. This isn't so much a complaint of my own, as I really didn't have very many issues trying to find items, but reading others' comments on the game, I actually can understand how the average gamer would struggle finding items required to continue the game. There's really no distinction on where you can find some of these items. Lastly, you're going to want to make sure that you properly exit the game every time you play. This game does not have a manual saving system whatsoever, and you are at the mercy of whatever autosaves you have. And let me warn you, never, under any circumstances, manually load into a game rather than continue. Sometimes you could lose as much as an hour or two of gameplay because you've overwritten your continuation slot. I bring this up because I had lost a little over an hour of gameplay because I ran into a bug where items that were supposed to be interactable were no longer interactable, and I could not interact with them. This was almost rage-inducing to the point that I didn't have it in me to finish the game. Luckily, this game's unconventional storytelling, if you can call it that, had me trying to work my way through to the end. I had to know what was at the end of the tunnel, how I can escape this hell. It's been a while since a game has really captivated me to think beyond the game, and I really appreciated it with the Scorn. If you could take your time through this game, and you're able to get over the awful combat sequences, then there's a lot to love here for a $40 game. Not to mention it's actually still free on Game Pass. I've seen the complaints about this game as being lame, slow, a walking simulator. If you went into this game expecting some kind of fast-paced Doom with fleshy weapons and crazy enemies, you were going to be disappointed. What the game does well is put you out of your element and forces you to work your way through, just as we all do in life. Think about it. When you live life, aren't we all really just trying to figure it out? For this Papa Plays, I'm giving Scorn an 8.2 out of 10. And I do recommend you give it a try if you have Game Pass. Or, if you're going to be purchasing the game outright, maybe probably wait for it to go on sale and get it on a discount. Just for how short the game is, I don't know if it justifies a $40 purchase. The complete game can be finished in less than 5 hours, and from what I can tell, there is no replayability nor any other alternate endings or timelines. And if you like this review, please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, please like, comment, and ring ding that notification bell. And until next time, I'm Papa Post. I'll catch you on the flip side.